5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and it's been a while. It's been a while, man. Hey,
Yeah,
it's been what, like a month or so? We took a little bit of a sabbatical,
yeah,
a hiatus. I had to
for a
get
month and a half now.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I've been really busy with
certificate.
I've been really busy with my apprenticeship and stuff, just exhausted. But the one thing is that at least my harvest is finally kicking in, man. And I'm just like eating veggies from my garden left and right. I mean, I got so many cucumbers and eggplants and bell peppers, and I got 2 big bags of potatoes, and I still have potatoes outside. And in another month, I'm gonna get more potatoes.
Mm.
So that's the good part. You know, but the other thing is that, yeah, I'm very tired because I work for other people instead of having the chance to come and work on my field. And that's part of my apprenticeship. With sometimes it's good, and sometimes it's one of these, like, don't piss down my back and tell me it's raining. Meaning, like, try to make it like it's really pretty, but they forgot that they're dealing with like a grown-up person that knows what's bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been having to get on their ass, like, hey, I'm supposed to be learning, but you guys just have me pulling people's weeds. And then these guys, the farmers that get the service to get the students to come along, the apprentices, they get paid. It's we They don't pay us for us to be there. They get paid for us to be there and teach us. And they just like leave us picking weeds and shit, dude. And I'm just like, wait a second, I want to know why this soil is this,
Yeah, so
that.
it's an apprenticeship scheme where it sounds like an apprenticeship scheme where the government pays them to put people into apprenticeships, and the reason why they do that is just
To
to
exploit.
not to the government's plan is to arm the people with more skills at an affordable rate. Because if they were to make those people charge you to teach you these skills, then it might not everybody's going to acquire the skills. But
Well, and
if the
that's
government
great.
pay you to teach them,
Yeah, I think it's totally good, but the thing is that the program's not working that way. The way it's working is like they're getting paid, and then they're using the students to just
yes,
fucking pick their shit, and instead of teaching
yeah,
them, and most people are young, so they won't say anything, but I call them on their bullshit, like, hey, nah, dude, you know, um, I'm not gonna give you like this amount of years, and then I'm not getting anything in return, because my weeds, I haven't been able to cut them. I'm gonna have to get some goats to go in because they become so dense that I
yeah.
can barely cut them with a weed cutter, man. But I'm
Mm.
cutting other people's weeds, and if I were to like write down on a notebook what I have learned in the past 4 months, it would be like close to just like 2% and stuff that I could have learned on YouTube.
Yeah, they don't want to teach you. They don't want to teach you how to take over their business. If that makes sense.
In a way, yeah, that's what I thought. But at the
But
same time, they need
they're
people
getting
to
paid for it.
well, not
They're
just
getting
that.
paid for it.
Yeah, they're getting paid for it. Yeah, that's my thing, is they're getting paid for it, and so they should be doing like, okay, you're here. I've been in a few sites though. There was this one though, this one farm, and it's a government research agricultural center that I was working for. That's one of the
Mm.
sites that I work. And those people that they were teaching me shit every day. Sure, you have to go out and do some work, but it was very even. Like, okay, go ahead and do this for like an hour and stuff like that. And come back here. I want to teach you
Yeah,
about these kind
the
of
government
survival.
wants people skilled. It doesn't pay the government to have unskilled people. The more
Ex-
skilled people are, the better society can run in that country. So it
exactly.
benefits the government to have skilled people. But
Yes.
it's the people that don't want to transfer their skills because they want to have the superpower to themselves. No, I
Yeah.
can't teach you.
That
This martial arts we've been learning for years, and I can't teach it to you because now you can do what I can do.
yeah, it could be like that, but it is an aging population, and they need farmers as the farmers are decreasing. I think there's a little bit of that, but I think it's mostly uh, the fact that it's just they're very complacent, and they need labor, and so they can't, and so they're in a rush to get these fruits and these vegetables out, And so instead of nobody's complaining, no, and so everybody's become really complacent. And in the outer part, it looks like really pretty, but what it is actually is labor. That's all. You know, they need people to box that shit. And I'm actually,
But that's not what they get paid for.
exactly. And so here's where I'm getting to the story, and then I'll let you take over. I want to know.
They need to pay for labor, not get paid, and not get paid.
Exactly. I think my internet. I need to open my door because my internet's not. It's not. Hold on. I'll be right there, bro. Okay. I need to get a better.
Yeah, I think that's better. No, it's my. I turn my Wi-Fi off, so now this should be better.
Okay. Well, okay. So here's where I want to get your point of view. So recently, that's all we've been doing is just cutting weeds. And so for me, like I want to learn a lot about the soil and stuff like that. I already know some stuff, but I'm here to learn like the little secrets and stuff like that so I can take it to the next level, because in 2 years I'm going to go solo. You know, and half of it is self-sufficiency, subsistence, and the other is, you know, selling and teaching too. I want to teach, I want to encourage young people to get into the agriculture business, but the only thing is that I'm actually going to teach them, you know. And maybe I'm looking at things a little bit through much of the magnifying glass because I was a school teacher for a long time. But anyway, here's the story so that I can get back to. So I'm at a site right now where they're growing tomatoes, right? And they're planting ginger, onions, and carrots. And I've never been really good at growing carrots, so I want to know. But since Monday, I just been pulling out weeds, and it's like, hey, where's the secret knowledge, right? So today, I finally just kind of, I guess it's been building, and I had enough. So anyway, I still do my job, and I'm picking these weeds. And so then lunchtime is at 12. Usually at 12, you know, everybody goes to lunch at 12. We all go to lunch at the same time. It's not like I go to lunch at 1, he goes to lunch at 11. We all go to lunch at 12. And the lunch office is right next to where we're picking tomatoes, right? So 2 minutes prior to, I had to take a freaking super piss. My kidneys were floating. Because if we don't drink enough water, the weather's so hot, we always get really close to like overheating. So we got to watch that we don't get a heat stroke, because we work inside greenhouses, mate.
Yeah.
And now it's fucking hot, you know. So we pray that there's fucking clouds and shit like that. I would never let my people work like that. I'd figure out a different way. But anyway, so I went to go take a piss, and so it's lunchtime. The bell rings, and so well, I'm gonna go eat my lunch, you know. And so this the so-called supervisor, or the guy that's been there a little longer, he comes in. We have a high school student that's checking out how to work and stuff like that, getting the experience of being in the workforce and doing agriculture with us for a couple of weeks. And so he sits down, and we're ready to eat lunch, and I'm eating lunch, and then suddenly this dude just snaps on me, bro. He's like, hey, you. He tells me in Japanese, like, hey, you. Next time before you go to lunch, you should ask me before you go to lunch. And I look at him like, come again? Yes, you should ask me before you go to lunch. I'm like, well, dude, check it out, dude. I had to take a pee, but we all go to lunch at the same time. And now you're coming here. That's not the point. You have to ask me before you go to lunch. And so I just snapped. I said, no, bro, I don't know, like, who the fuck you think you are? But that shit don't work like that. I get here like 15 to 20 minutes early. No problem. That's fine. Want to make sure I get here on time. When you ask me to do something, do this, boop, boop, no problem. Dude, you've been here longer, whatnot. You know, before I go home from, you know, before I go home from work, you guys stay here a little longer. I actually leave at 4:30. You guys leave at 5. I let you guys know, hey, thank you, boss. See you tomorrow. I'm going home. Lunchtime, mate. We all go to lunch at the same time, and you know exactly where I'm at. I'm not gonna suck your dick for that shit, dude. It's my lunch, it's my time. And he was like, no, you have to ask me for permission. I'm like, no, I don't. I don't have to ask you for jack shit. And especially because out of like say we have a crew of 4 or 5,
Mm-hmm.
I myself can pull 60% of the work and get it done before everybody else. And so this
Mm.
guy, and since I've been just pulling weeds, I guess it kind of built up. And then he tells me, "You're a strange person." And so I told him, "Your mama's strange, dude, for making."
Yeah.
I said, "Don't you ever talk to me like that." And I fucking went to him on the side. I said, "Look, if you would have come to me and talked to me on the side, but you try to school me
In front of people.
in front of people, and you don't even have that position, I'm like, you better check yourself, buddy. Um,
Mm-hmm.
it ain't happening. So you think your way, I think my way, and when the bell
And
rings
let's leave it.
and we go back to work because you know more in the field, then I'm gonna ask you a question, why not? But don't you? So my thing is, what do you think about that? Do you think I overreacted, or I didn't yell or anything, but I stood my ground and I looked at him like, hey, you're barking up the wrong tree, son.
It's, yeah, it's a bit of pressure. You know, you apply hot water to a pot, to a tea kettle, and eventually the steam has to burst out through the hole. So you keep applying heat or pressure to something, eventually it needs to find an outlet. Now, what I think here, like I said, I still think what I said before. They get paid to teach you the apprenticeship, but it's not in their favor to teach you, give you all the information, because then they lose their value. If you came there the first week and they didn't make you weed all the plants, yeah, and they taught you exactly what you wanted to know, you would have been gone in a week. Do you understand?
Mm.
So Karate Kid, he kept the boy there by wax on, wax off.
The
There was no
Mr.
need.
Mr. Miyagi.
Yes, there's no need for wax on, wax off. As I've grown older, I've now come to realize wax on, wax off was not what taught him to fight. Wax on, wax off was the humility that he needed to get the most out of the student. Because it wasn't about teaching him what I know, it's about having a humble student to take what I'm going to give him and take it far because of his humility. But they've got the wrong idea.
I totally get that, mate. I totally get that, but
Yeah, but that's not you.
I was gonna say it's not the wax on here. That's not the.
Yeah, you're a big man. You've got your own farm. You've got your own agenda. You're not there as a 15-year-old trying to learn how to breathe. You understand? You're a fully grown man. You know exactly why you're there. Your head is clear. I don't need no wax on, wax off. So he's trying to come to you with a wax on, wax off approach. And you just put him in his place and let him know, look, I'm not a little kid. I'm not Daniel's son. I'm not Daniel's son. You're not going to tell me. It's true.
Well, yeah,
I'm not Daniel's son. I'm not the little kid that you're going to be telling to do that. But at the same time, they're not giving you the information, because I would say that's a bad thing on their part, because they're withholding the information so that they can seem more powerful and have you doing cheap labor, free labor.
Yeah.
Because that's what they're doing.
And
so I mean, don't think you reacted too harshly.
No. I mean, actually, I didn't even like raise my voice or anything like that. But I gave him the look like you're barking up the wrong tree, son.
But in terms of strategy, though, in terms of strategy, I would say that has obviously made you stand out a little bit in a way that they could go against you. Yeah, at this point now.
I think so too. But what was good though is when the boss came, the real boss. I thought I was gonna hear something from him, but he was cool as beans. He was like, "Oh, thank you so much for all your work. You know, I really appreciate it because my leg hurts a little bit, and so you want to know how to grow the carrots and stuff like that." So I think maybe he probably thought, okay, yeah, this is a grown man, and he really wants.
Yeah, so they're used to dealing with kids. They're used to dealing with kids, so you have to let them know, I'm not that guy. So now that they've realized you're not that guy, so maybe it might work in your favor, and they might think, okay, hang on, let's treat the others, make the others do weeds, but this guy is obviously different, and he's already made his cry out for what he wants. So let's take him to the side and give him what he wants. Because if not, he might disrupt the system amongst the other people, because the other people are watching you. So what they're gonna do, they're gonna keep you happy and get you out of the way so that they can carry on with the order of you lot go and pick weeds and let me know when you want to take a piss. Let me know how many centimeters your weed is.
That's what I thought. What is this, the chain gang and shit, dude? I don't
Yeah,
have,
yeah,
I don't have to, this isn't the classroom like when we're in high school that I have to ask the teacher if I can go if I could take a slash, dude, or if I can go pinch a
yeah, yeah,
rope.
yeah.
Like by that time, at our age, at that time, we piss in our pants, dude. Oh,
You
dude,
know,
you know what I mean? So, but yeah, the one thing is that maybe like if I was to say like 8 years ago, oh, and then next thing, and then next thing, cling. So on that
yeah, yeah.
aspect, it's like I don't operate like that anymore. But I still don't let you know. Yeah, I don't have time to let people freaking dragging me down the road because I've
They
already,
were trying to waste your time.
exactly. That's what it is. That's what it is. And the older we get, we see like, the most valuable thing you have is your time.
Your time. It's funny you say that.
Go
I
ahead.
was in a shop yesterday. I was in a shop yesterday,
Mm.
and an old lady was at the queue, and she went to the shop assistant. She goes, "Life is so short. You should never rush." So when she said that, I froze for a minute. I don't know what froze me, and then when it was my turn to get served, I said to the assistant, I said, "That woman just said to you, life is short, so you should take your time and do everything." I said, "But my head tells me that if life is short, I need to get it done quickly." You know what I'm saying? How can you tell me life is short? I shouldn't rush. If life is short, I need to get things done real fast.
Yeah, I guess
You know?
there's been in both a meaning like don't don't be in a rush to be in a rush. Do you know what I mean? I guess a lot of people are just in this constant busyness, that rush. Get up in the morning. I gotta go here. I gotta go there. I gotta go do that.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of just going like, you know what? Let me just sit down here and just fucking smell some oxygen and look at the birds. Remember that verse from the Bible you told me, like, look at the birds and the lilies in the field. They don't
Mm-hmm.
they don't toil, and they still get taken care of.
They
And
get fed, they get protected, they get everything.
exactly, sure, we have to struggle. We have to struggle a little bit against nature and kind of tame it a little bit, and that was
Mm-hmm.
part of our duty. But think about it. It We don't have to do jack shit for it to all exist. All we have to do is just clip a little shit, and with all the intelligence we have to like make all these tools, yet I think
Mm-hmm.
we're the most miserable creatures on the planet.
Yeah, because we're trying to assume the role of God.
There you go. And we're always in a fucking rush, dude. We're always in a rush. We have to do this, we have to do that. Like, you know what I can't stand? When people feel like you got a lot of people that if they see you just relaxing or just like doing absolutely nothing, just existing just for a moment, like that's wrong and shit, and they've made you feel guilty, like taking a deep breath and just like
Yeah.
absorbing the beauty, like, oh, how
Yeah,
dare
but
you.
when you look at what they're doing, they're going high paced and they're going straight into a ditch. They're going through a ditch at such a fast pace. It's ridiculous. So they're telling you, why are you so relaxed? Why are you not rushing at me? But you're rushing straight into a hole. You're rushing straight into the fire pit.
Yeah,
Do you know
and
what I mean?
I think that's what that lady was getting at. But I get your point too, because I'd probably
No,
think
you spot on with that analysis there. Because you gave me a different perspective right there. Don't be in such a rush to rush. We're already rushing.
yeah,
Naturally, time is short. So the rhythm of the earth is already rushing you without you doing anything.
yeah, time is
Because
short,
in,
and
in,
so
in 5 years' time, the color of your beard is gonna change. You're being rushed even without you doing anything. When you was born, you was 5 years old. No, when you was born, you could barely walk. In
mm.
5 years, you're walking, you're talking. Now all of a sudden your face looks older than it did 5 years ago. You don't need to do anything. The rush is happening
Oh, well,
anyway.
dude, my face, like
Did you, did you have that? Did you have that 15 years ago?
no, well, check this out, dude. About, let's say, well, I hadn't shaved for like about 3 years, and what I've noticed after I shaved, actually I think I looked younger with the beard, and
You reckon?
actually I revealed, actually, like, oh shit, dude, I'm starting to get turkey neck, You know, when you pull it and
No, but those there, you have to embrace those.
yeah,
Because trust me, they don't make you look older. You think they make you look older, but they don't.
I don't,
Actually, when the bed covered everything, that kind of makes you look older, because I don't know. It's
really,
something with the mind. Yeah, it's something with the mind.
for me, it's the opposite. But anyway, I don't trip on it anyway because I mean, I know where that's going. I mean, I never. That's why I never say like I'm 50 years young. It's like, dude, shut up. I hate those little cliches. I'm
Yeah,
50
yeah.
years young. No,
Delusions.
you're not. Delusions, illusions, or
Mm-hmm.
delusions. You know,
Mm-hmm.
like everybody, like being old, like the word old is evil or something. No, it's not. That's part of it. Get used to it. And so when
Embrace
people
it.
embrace it, and it's funny when people say like, "Oh, you look young for your age." I'm like, no. If you actually take care of yourself, you're
You look
supposed
the
to.
same.
You look the same, but you actually look old for your age. You know what I
Mm.
mean? And it's not that I look appropriate because of the exercise and stuff like that. And but yeah, don't going back to the lady. Yeah, don't be in a rush. We're always like consumed with things to do, and we have forgotten of the basic thing: live in this moment.
Yes.
You
Because
know,
when the person is rushing to go and pay this bill, to go and get this money, they're not thinking about this moment. They're thinking about, okay, if I get the money in 2 days' time, oh, last week I didn't pay for that. So they're living in the past and the future, which is
yeah,
causing
yeah,
anxiety and depression.
which is out of your control, mate.
Yes.
It's out of your control 100%, dude. You can't you can't do anything about the past anymore, but just maybe learn from it. And the future, why you worried about tomorrow, mate?
It's not happened yet.
Yeah, it hasn't happened yet, and it's not guaranteed, man. You can be totally chilling in your bed during the night, and the roof just flattens out and freaking crushes you, and you was
Mm.
and the last thing, and maybe you might not die, but you might be just crushing like, and and for what? And you were thinking about tomorrow and that
Yeah,
whole
think
time,
tomorrow.
and about yesterday, and then at that moment you probably just realized like I should have lived for the moment. But then
Then
again,
now,
shit, I don't want to live for this.
you know, but and guess what? While they're living in the past and in the future, things are happening right now and they're not reacting accordingly.
Mm,
Right now, they're thinking about yesterday and tomorrow, but
mm.
right this second, somebody's just robbed an old lady right next to them. But because their brain is not even there, they didn't react appropriately and help that person, or be a protector, be a provider, be a shoulder to lean on, be a confidant. They were not able to be that person right now because
Mm.
their brain is in yesterday and tomorrow.
Yeah, and now that you say that, there's something I really wanted to talk about. You notice like now the new thing happening in the States, right? People are divided now. It's the whole abortion deal. They
Mm.
overturn a ruling from before that women could get abortion, and a lot of states have made it illegal now to get an abortion. Now I have my own opinions on that and whatnot, but here's the thing that I was thinking about, and what people don't realize. If you notice now, again, there's tension, there's friction against the Democrats and the Republicans, the left
Mm-hmm.
and the right. And then they'll talking about, oh yeah, look what Biden has done for us, and Trump sucks, or look at,
Yeah, yeah.
or Biden sucks and Trump is awesome. And once again, the friction has come. And if you've noticed, it's always been this pattern, but I think more lately, more so now, because of the access to information that we have and the connection, yet so spread apart. We have so much connections with each other, and we can get so much info through the internet. And I think in a way it's kind of backfired a little bit in the government, on the government, or not even the
Mm.
government, just the
The
elite,
powers that be.
the powerful. And so the only way that they can keep people from, getting savvy on what's happening or really liberating themselves is through constant fear. And remember, we talked about fear before,
Mhm.
but it's just so obvious now. And yet a lot of people don't realize that. They don't see that. Like, let's just take it from we'll start out from September 11th. For the longest time, it was terrorism. The terrorists this, the terrorists that. Everywhere you would see would be like terrorist sleeper cells, Guantanamo Bay, all
Yeah.
this, Osama bin Laden, Saddam
Yeah.
Hussein, back and forth in the movies for the longest time, like over 20 years, was movies about Afghanistan, espionage, all this constant fear of this boogeyman. And it wasn't so much the terrorist, but the word terrorism, because it's a noun.
Mm.
And it was a perfect word for a while because you never knew where it was coming from. It was
Mm.
so it was so it was like
Ambiguous.
like a phantasm, mate. It can come out from anywhere. But eventually as soldiers started coming back from the war, many started speaking out. And the word terrorism started losing its grasp. And the agenda already that was already it had already exhausted himself. They already got what they needed to get during that 20-year-old war. And then what was the next thing to fear? The freaking coronavirus, mate. Okay, but before that, if you notice, they'd already been preparing people through through the media on different viruses here and there, Ebola, this and all that, and the
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
movies,
It starts.
in the movies too, for people to realize, to think that the government or the elite have no say in what we watch in the movies. That's what it's called, programming, bro. They program you. It's a program to program the head.
It's a television TV program.
And so check this out. So of course we've been freaked out about the virus, and if it wasn't one, it was Omicron and this and fucking Papa Smurf or whatever, every different mutation of the virus. But then people just had enough of that after 2 years. Like, you know what? Fuck that. We're taking the mask off. We're going outside. If we get
If
the
we die,
fucking,
we die.
if we die, we die. We can say that with the Arnold voice. If we die, we die.
Get to
And
the
then,
car park.
and now then fucking Ukraine, right?
Yes.
And back again, people at odds. And in between all that, there's people either in fear or conflicting with each other. Uh, the BLM riots, if it's not that division between, the transgender, something always to divide us, some issue.
Yeah.
And now we have this, and it's no coincidence that it's close to election, like they're getting ready to start electing a new president. Now here
Mm.
my point is that, and I want to ask you what you think on this.
Mhm.
At the top level, there is no such thing as left and right. There is no such thing as Republicans and Democrats. There is only power and agenda. Who wants to control at one time? This time, okay, it's my turn. It's a friction amongst the same group of people, the powerful. Now, these people both they give the illusion that there is such thing as left and right. That's for the people to have. That's their crumbs for them to choose the
Mhm.
sides. This exists. Now you deal with this. And they give the illusion that there is such thing as a Democrat and a Republican. And when that is there, then you create the division amongst the people for them to fight against each other, to choose a side. Okay, I'll have this agenda, I'll have these policies, but in reality, it's all about power for them. Because if you notice,
Yes.
whether it's the Democrats or the Republicans, they never keep their fucking promises. But the people,
Yes.
how to keep them at odds and thinking, okay, now create their illusion, their pride, their sense of belong. They feel proud of being a Democrat and a Republican because of these morals and that, right? And constantly give them things to fight over. Do you think that somebody in power can't get an abortion anytime they fucking want?
Of course they can.
Right? But that's for people to worry about. Oh, you know what? we don't want them having babies and stuff. Let's make everybody fucking gay. We're not gonna be gay, but
Yes.
we'll make them gay. We'll pretend to support the gay thing,
Yes.
and we'll fight it, make them fight against each other. We'll let the gay people be in power right now and piss these people off, and that's what it's like at this
They're
level.
doing
None of that doesn't exist.
at the top level.
No, it's for us. It's like
Yes.
little bones and stuff for people to fight against each other and never to realize.
Unify, never to unify. They unified under the thing called power.
Yes,
But we're not unified. We're divided by options.
yeah. They all meet at the same table and eat from the same table. Haven't you seen, like, for example, Clinton, Bush, right? Obama, and they're both from there, and they're all hugging and having parties and stuff like that, because that doesn't exist at their
You see,
level, right?
you don't even realize you've answered half of the question, even just by your wise perception on it. Basically, what you just said, you've already covered the answer. So basically, in the Bible, it says the path of truth is a very narrow line. The path of death and destruction is wide, full of space.
Yes.
Now, what does that make me think now? That makes me think that the truth. Okay, let's not go too far. Let's just explain what you just said. The people at the top, they're after power. The people at the bottom, we're after democracy, conservative, Legion of Doom, Legion of LGBT, LG Fire, QQQ.
Yes, exactly.
But remember, they're only dealing with one thing: power. The path of truth is narrow. It's very specific.
Yes.
The path of destruction is wide, with
Yeah, you
plenty of
got it.
options.
That's a good one.
Conservative, democratic, LGBTQ, Black Lives Matters, Pink Lives Don't Matter, Elephant Lives Matter. You see, that's what they've got us doing, while they're only focusing on one thing. The path of truth is always one thing. You see, you could be in a whole big space and you're looking for your key. Your key is only in one place. That room could be a million acres wide. Your key, the truth, is only in one spot.
Yes.
All the rest of the space is pointless.
Yes.
Power is what's important. All the rest of what they've got us arguing about is pointless.
It is. And check this out. Now that it even goes wider than that, even at the top, you could take it like national and international. And here's the thing, that nations, they don't really exist at that level. The nations is for us to fight. It creates that division and also creates that identity of belonging, but they operate on a different level. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Nation is for us to feel pride over, so that when the power wants to get more power or move this way, they incite the pride, mobilize the people, when in reality that doesn't exist either. It's just a tool for them. It only exists for us. That's for us to have.
Have you noticed that the people in power find it so much easier to get along with each other, even though they're competition? Even though they're competing with each other, they have no problems getting along with each other. When we compete with each other, we kill each other.
Yeah, and that's exactly and that's exactly the whole purpose. And so when I'm watching,
another thing,
go ahead, mate.
Another thing, we've spoke about this many times, so you'll be familiar when I say this. You go into a shop and all you're after is a shoe. The truth is the shoe.
Yeah.
But when you go into the shop, you're going to be met with about 1,000 different types of shoes.
Yeah.
So now, all you had to do was find a shoe. It could have just been generic, black, leather, strap on it. That's all you need.
The box has
now,
shoe, dude. Fucking shoe.
Now you've got Prada. You've got, yeah, exactly. You should be labeled shoe. You know what I mean? But now you've got Prada, Nike, Christian Dior. So by the time you get into the shop, remember, all you had to do was just pick a shoe.
Yeah.
Can you imagine a person will now be in a shop for 4 hours deciding on what shoe to pick, because they put hundreds. You don't need to give us that many options. If we're only chasing shoe, why are there millions of shoes?
Well, I mean, yeah, exactly. Well, then you get into consumerism and all that stuff, and you know the positive and the negative aspects of that, which I think there's more of negative aspects now. It's gone way too much on the other side where people things are being made to have planned obsolescence, meaning like you know, they're designed to break. They make things designed
Mm.
to break after a certain time. I mean,
Yes, so you can buy another one.
why is it that you know, you can't, after your battery dies on an iPod or whatever, or so you can't put a new battery in it? You know what I mean? Or
Yeah, you have
return
to go to them to do it.
well, not even that. They won't even give you the battery. They're ready to give you a new model.
You see what I'm saying?
They get
All these options. I think options are the they create disaster.
in a way, yeah. I mean, you want to have some, but it's too much. I mean, why do you need like
So many options. If there's a car, if we're making car for human beings, there should just be one car that everyone drives. If you think about it, because when you create a Ferrari and you create a Ford, now you're shit. We've both got cars. We both get from A to B. But because you got a Ferrari, now I should feel shit about myself. I've got a car as well. I might have a shit Ford. I might have a shit VW Beetle, but it's a car.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, that's something I've never worried about. Like, even if I had the cash, mate, like, I'm not gonna. Are you kidding me? Just give me something that moves. Of course, I want something
Exactly.
that's gonna last. You know what I
I
mean?
want a jumper for the winter. I just want something warm. It doesn't have to be Ralph Lauren. It doesn't have to be Gucci. I just want a jacket that's gonna keep me warm when it's raining.
And that's not gonna tear up. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
That's not gonna fall apart when you zip it for a few times, and the next thing you know, you know,
But you,
it's
you go and get the
unraveling
one.
at the seams.
You know what I mean? But you go and get something suitable for purpose. Now all the girls are laughing at you. All the cool guys in town thinking, look at him, he looks like an old hillbilly. You know what I mean? Look at my jacket, yeah, it's Moncler, $1,000. Can't you see the glitter? Can't you see they put coconut oil on the jacket? I don't need a jacket with coconut oil or sheep horns on it. Do you get what I'm saying?
Coconut oil. I've never heard of that, bro.
They start coming out with all these things to make your jacket seem so prestige. You might even have a bit of ribeye steak hanging off your jacket that they preserved, yeah, to show you that you're high value male. I've got a piece of steak hanging off my jacket.
We're living in, and then you can go back to the positivity, and here's the thing, like going back to what the lady said. Instead of just focusing on all that, if step out of that chaos, it's designed to confuse us, and just breathe and realize that, you know what, we don't have to be tripping like that. This shit is like a ball that's floating, and no matter what, the sun's gonna be there. You know, the seasons are still gonna move. Everything's who, but not. Here comes another fear. Here comes another agenda. And if you look at it, you know what's sad is both groups, you know, they'll sit there and talk about, oh, like I've read a few posts on the internet, or the Democrats, or no, the you know, they want this and they want that. Those people are disgusting, or they disgust me, or we should pray for them. And I'm thinking, did you just realize what you just say? They disgust you. You
pray for them.
I pray for them. Like, come on. Come on, man. Why don't you just pray for them? And why should you pray for them? What are you, the holy one? You don't know. Your side also has some bullshit too. It's and they both think that they're like the peanut in God's shit, bro. That's an old saying that we used to say in high school. Homeboy thinks he's the peanut in God's shit, but he's actually a cold turd on a paper plate. You know. You know, and I just see that, then especially coming from, you know, like when I see it coming from people that claim Christianity or Christ, you know, and it's not Christianity itself that's bad. It's like just the wackos that'll sit out there and within the same verse they'll talk about Jesus and they think, I can't stand these people, and you know, God's gonna judge them one day. And it's just like, bro, why don't you just live the part that's just say love them? You know what I mean? Like, what happened to that?
Why don't you just live and let live?
Like today, like I could have obliterated this guy in a way, like humiliated him. I just wanted just to stand up and say like, hey, you know, there's only so much I can do. But after lunch, I had to go work with him again, just him and I. The boss was working with the high school student that he just put us together. I had no problem with him, dude. It's like, just let it go. You might disagree, just agree to disagree. You go your way, that
No,
way.
he tested you. He tested you, and he saw that you were not to be played with. So he backed off straight away. It was just a simple test. I don't think he was as fortified as he came across. Sometimes a
Look,
position of power could make a person act out of character for a few seconds until they realize actually I'm not built like that. Just because you made me the manager of a shop, I could be a scrawny little guy, but because I'm the manager of the shop, for a split second, I'm going to tell this big predator looking guy to sit down and listen to me. But then when I just realized actually it's just a title, actually this guy can still eat me alive.
well, and I wouldn't even go that way with him, but some people actually do need to get told. But even if you do, like, for example, going back to what we're talking about, the left and the right, you might pull out a point and bring out a point, and both of us brought our points to the table. And at the end, he realized, like, yeah, he's not going to see my point, and I'm not going to see your point. But there was no hatred there, and I don't have any hatred towards him, and it doesn't make him an evil person. You know what I mean? I might still think he's a jackass, but he's still a human being,
Yes.
and I'm sure I have other parts that are not cool, and somebody's gonna call me up on my shit, and we still have one common goal, which is to get the job done.
Right. Regardless of what happens. And that's
Exactly.
taken a lot of maturity from your side to be able to see things from that point, because a more younger, hormonal driven person would have given into their hormones, would have given into testosterone, would have given into ego, would have
Well,
given
yeah,
into pride.
it's an easy thing to do, and I'm not above that, all the time. But you have to, you can't keep, like, again, it's we have this one common goal, and in society, the one common goal is for us to build a society where we can all live prosperously. And as long as we're confused in here and afraid of each other, because that's what it is, afraid of each
Full of
other,
options, full of different options, variety causes problems.
we're going to be like this. And again,
Yes.
that doesn't exist up here. That's for us to have. America doesn't exist up here. There's no such thing. You guys can have this flag and this thing and what, so that you can fight amongst each other and have this pride and whatnot. And then we can use this flag to mobilize you to go to war over here with this guy.
Yeah, exactly.
But they don't even believe in that shit either. They just use that for us. And that's just what I came up with. And what do you think?
Right.
What do you
Right.
And you see it on Facebook, mate. You see it on Facebook a lot. You see it on the news. You see it on YouTube, and it's starting. One of the main reasons why I moved out to the countryside is nowhere's perfect, but the one thing is, like, when beefs do happen out here or whatever, it usually gets squashed quickly because we don't have time for that bullshit, because we have all one common goal: make food and put it on the table before winter.
Back in the days, in the tribe, one person could hunt.
Yes.
Another person was real good at growing the fruits and stuff. Another person was real good at irrigating the water system so that there was always water.
Yeah.
One person was real good at taking care of the kids. One person was real good at shagging all the women. One person was real good at protecting the environment with his strength.
Yes.
One person was real good at cooking the food. And what they did as a society, they brought all these different attributes, and nobody was powerful. It all combined to create one unity. So everybody's efforts all came together to create the tribe. So nobody was special because he brought all the meat. It didn't matter because this person washed all the clothes and this person looked after all the kids. So what they've now done is now try to glorify single achievements, which is a very clever way to divide people. So now all of a sudden, if this person is a good hunter, then he's better than the farmer. And then if the farmer is now better than the school teacher, and then the school teacher is now better than the fitness instructor.
That's a good point there too. That's what it is. Yeah,
and then that's when they now start creating division. But remember, those at power are not arguing with each other. They know, okay, it's power, it's your turn today. I'll wait for 4 years time. It might be my turn next year. You know, but even when I'm not the one in full power, we've always got power.
In a way, they're kind of disseminating pride.
Yes.
You know, that's another
They're
one.
taking it away from us. They're taking it away from us. We're not allowed to have it.
Well, don't you think that maybe what I was thinking is the opposite, is a type of negative pride, like teaching pride where pride should not exist, but just confidence. You know what I mean? Confidence in your contribution to the importance and survival of that unit. But when you become when you become proud, you think that, oh,
I control the unit. Just this one thing I'm doing is making the whole engine run, but it's not. You're just the carburetor. You need the fuel pump. You need the throttle. You need the clutch.
Yes, and it's all important. But now it's like, oh, you guys could never live without me.
Yes, I'm the steering wheel. I'm the steering wheel. So you don't know. So what about the flipping tires?
Yeah, exactly. I'm the steering. I like that one. I'm the steering wheel.
Yeah, I'm the steering wheel. So you can't change directions without me. Yeah, how about the tires? You can't move. You can't move without
everything works.
Everything's important.
Everything's important, and yeah, we're all over the place today, but it's always an interesting conversation.
No, this was nice. This was nice.
It's been, and so you know, it's nice to see you again, matey.
Always.
So here's what we'll do. You take it over. If I was a little bit verbose today, I apologize. I guess.
No, I loved it, man.
Go ahead and leave us with some of your lovely honeydew wisdom, mate.
Okay, so today I want to be a bit unconventional today. I want to give us a bit of sound frequency.
Oh yeah. I'm glad you brought that out, mate. I'm glad. I love that. I used to have one of them.
Yeah, so this is the 8-inch Tibetan singing bowl. And I'm obviously I'm on the spot now, so I'm gonna try and make it sing without fucking up.
Okay.
And usually you're meant to do it clockwise. You can see I'm doing it anti-clockwise now.
Yeah.
Let me move it back to the normal position.
Yeah, I love those. I had one, and I love when you get going, you get in the zone.
Yeah. And it's just about allowing the sound to permeate through your ears and allowing the vibration to go through your body and give you some kind of calmness and peace.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. And so with that, which will connect again to slow down and listen.
Yeah, it's just another way to just slow things down and just allow nature's sounds and music to play through you.
Yes.
You know?
Listen, smell, see, hear, and taste, because it's all jungly and beautiful.
Trust me.
All right, matey. Well, we're gonna leave it like that, and we'll catch you guys again next week. Hopefully, we'll have a nice guest, and we'll take it from there. And and
hopefully we'll get back on track now. We're not gonna take no month and a half off. We're gonna stay consistent as usual. No.
Yeah. Let's get back to normal, and even if you have a discussion, even if you have an argument or whatever you call it, at the end of the day, just go like this, because tomorrow is another day, but you're living for now. You won't be guaranteed tomorrow, so you don't want to be pissed off all the time. So sometimes we have mini explosions, but realize also that you yourself, including me, none of us shit flowers.
Yes. And also, don't be in a rush. What you said earlier, don't be in a rush to be in a rush.
Exactly.
Don't be in a rush to be in a rush.
That's right. I like that one. We should get a t-shirt, bro.
Yeah, trust me.
and they just move like a fucking snail everywhere.
Yeah.
Just piss people off, dude. Okay, matey.
Onto our feet start swelling.
Yeah, exactly. Till we start getting slime out of our toes and shit, dude. Okay, bro. I love you. Catch you next week.
Love you, bro.
And keep it jungly, okay?
Yes.
Peace and love, mate. Bye
Peace
bye.
and love, brother.